Hey everyone, it's Sierra
and Dakota,
and we are your hosts for Tea Time with Teenagers, and we're keeping this in. We can't stop laughing, so this is what you get. Thank you so much for tuning into our first episode, which is already a hot mess. Dakota, go and just laugh through it. Just go. We'll get through this, okay?
Real quick before we start the episode, shameless self-promo. We want to plug our socials. They'll all be in the description. If you want to go check those out, that'd be great.
Yeah. We have Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, which you forgot to mention. But it's fine.
Well.
We'd also like to give a little disclaimer because the quality is probably not that good. But we're working on it. So please be patient.
Remember Monsters, Inc. when they animated that blooper reel of them all cracking up?
No.
This
is not even part of the podcast, so let's keep
Okay.
Shout out.
Yeah, real quick, we'd like to give a little shout out to one of our best friends and honestly just kind of like a role model in our lives. She brought us together, she basically introduced us, and she has hyped us up so much through everything that we've done, and that is our Miss Molly. Molly, if you're listening, we love you, we cherish you, and you've been so great through everything, so thank you, Molly.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, and if you would like a shout out, go to the comment section and leave a comment, or any of our recent posts on any of our social medias. Leave a comment and we might just give you a shout out.
Yeah. And now probably my favorite part of this podcast is a shower thought. And
yay.
The shower thought that I picked to share with you is every decision you've made has led you to where you are.
Is that just the butterfly effect?
I don't know. I think it's cool because you have people listening. I don't know why I said it like that. You people listening, every decision you've made has led you to be listening to our podcast. And
yeah.
I think that's really cool, but Dakota just thinks it's...
unless you believe in serendipity, in which case everything is out of your control and decisions were actually... Have you ever seen Serendipity?
No.
It's a good movie, but it's so freaking frustrating.
When do I watch movies?
True. Alrighty.
Oh, questions!
Questions. Yay.
We are way too hyper.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
So, this question is kind of a joke, but it's kind of funny. So, why did you copy Colleen and Eric with the podcast? If you don't know who that is, that's Colleen Ballinger and Eric Stocklin, and they just created a podcast, and it came out, the day before we filmed this.
Yeah.
We don't know when this will go up. We're hoping sometime next week.
Don't hold us to anything because my computer's kind of crap.
Yeah.
So
we're working on everything. But I was afraid people were going to think we created this podcast because of Colleen and Eric, but that is actually not the case.
No.
Should we tell them the story of how we created our podcast?
I want to tell it because it is magnificent and beautiful and I hardly remember it. Okay, so we FaceTime a lot because we can't stand not talking to each other. And one night, you were making hot chocolate, right?
Yes, I was making hot chocolate.
Yeah, so you had your hot chocolate and we were sitting there talking and you look down and you're like, oh my gosh, this is kind of like a podcast.
Like, it gives me podcasting vibes.
Yeah, and then we were like, oh, well, if we made a podcast, but like, no, that's weird and like, my mom probably won't let us. My mom did let us, so within 3 days we went from...
within 2 days.
Yeah, within 2 days, we went from absolutely nothing to then making an email and social medias and recording what was supposed to be our first podcast. Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Yeah, it failed. We had to ditch it. But we're here and hopefully this is the one that you guys get to hear.
Yeah, hopefully.
So yeah, we actually came up with the podcast before listening to Colleen's vlogs, they've had this idea for like 5 months. But it wasn't announced until like a week after like ours was supposed to go up.
Mm-hmm.
So like they've had the idea longer, but we didn't know about it, so like we didn't copy them.
Yeah.
So
coincidences. As far as coincidences go, that's kind of funny how it was like Colleen and us kind of like at the same time.
Yeah. Well, like I got to Zoom with her and like I was like, oh my gosh, me and my friend created a podcast.
Yeah.
And she was like hyping me up about it, and she was like so sweet. And
oh, she's so nice.
Yeah, she's so nice. I love her. But funny thing is, like, she had a podcast the whole time I was talking to her about ours, and I didn't know.
Self-control. I could never.
I don't know how she kept it a secret. I would have been like, oh my gosh, me too. I have a podcast. Like,
yeah.
I literally would have done that. But
oh wow.
So I don't know how she did that. But
next question.
Okay, the next question is favorite thing that happened in 2020. You can go first.
I'm a negative thinker. This is hard. You go first.
Okay. To be honest, I don't remember much that happened in 2020 because of COVID, and I was stuck in my home. The thing that happened at the end of the year was pretty cool, which I literally just briefly mentioned this, which was my Zoom with Colleen. She's gotten me through so much. She's literally the sweetest person ever. I love her so much, and I got to Zoom with her, and it was an amazing experience, and something I look forward to. I didn't think, when she did the contest, I literally did not think I'd win. I didn't think there was any possible way. But then she also brought me closer to another friend who also won the Zoom before me, and so that was super sweet. Honestly, actually, she's the one who asked this question, so
yeah.
Okay, now your turn.
I don't know. Probably one thing that came out of the whole quarantine thing is that we didn't see each other on a regular basis because we were in the middle of practicing for a play we were doing together. So we decided to start FaceTiming. And now we have a podcast. So
and we have another huge idea that we can't share.
I thought we said we weren't doing this.
No, I said we are. I said we should mention it, but we're not. We're one of those kind of people. Okay, we don't know if it'll happen. We're trying our best to make it happen, but it won't happen for many years. But we don't want nobody to steal our idea, so that's why. So now we have a podcast, and we have this huge idea.
Well, the thing is, podcast, it was free to make.
The other one takes a lot more work.
Yeah, with this big plan, it's obviously going to take a few years to get together everything that we need. So, yeah. Next question.
Yeah. Actually, Colleen knows about that.
Oh my God, Sierra.
Anyways, this question: who inspires you and why?
My parents, because God, they're hustlers, but also our friend Molly.
Oh yeah,
because
Molly.
she's done so much in her life, and she's worked so hard for everything that she's gotten. But she's also so sweet.
Yeah.
She's so kind to us, and she helps us out so much with all of our dreams and ambitions. And I mean,
she really believes in us. Do you have anyone who's famous? Because I have two people.
I don't know, because the thing about celebrities is that I feel like I don't actually know them because I don't.
True, and plus you don't have Twitter where they can.
Yeah, I don't have Twitter,
and that's where a lot of big YouTubers. Well, YouTubers are easier to connect
social
with.
media, so
yeah. But okay, I have two people. Both who have been mentioned.
Let me guess, Colleen.
Shut up. But yes. Yeah. Well, when this podcast wasn't working out, she told me, even though we didn't have the equipment, she told me that it was going to be amazing. And, I got so upset because, I told her about it and I wanted it to go up on time when I said it was going to, because I told her, and, I didn't want to.
So much go wrong.
We've had so much go wrong. We almost didn't make it to film today.
Yeah. That's a whole other story.
Yeah, that's a whole other story that we're not going to go into. But when it wasn't going to go up, I got so upset, and I was like, I just want to do it for her because she saw it and she knows about it, and so yeah. But she inspires me. I've been following her for so long, and I've been on Twitter, and so she knows me now. Well, quotations, knows me. But yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a famous person who inspires me. But my other person is the same person as you, Molly. Because our big idea that we have literally probably wouldn't happen if it wasn't for her. Because we reached out to her and we were asking for her help a little bit. And then we've done shows with her because she owns her own theater company.
Yeah.
And she always believes in us and always hypes us up.
She is there for us.
And she's the reason we met, because the first show she ever directed was the show we both auditioned for.
Yeah, and we had one scene together where it was only us two on stage, and then gradually we just started rehearsing that more and more while other scenes were going on, and then we have a podcast now.
Yeah. So honestly, if it wasn't for Molly, we wouldn't have met. We wouldn't have, and if quarantine didn't happen, quarantine sucked. But if it wasn't for quarantine, we wouldn't have started talking, and we wouldn't have these big, ambitious ideas that we have.
We wouldn't have realized how much we actually want together.
Yeah, because we have a lot of same dreams. Okay, we're very different people.
Yeah.
we're very different people, but we have a lot of the same dreams.
Yeah.
That like we want to make happen, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're partners now, I guess, in a way.
Partners in crime. Next.
Biggest pet peeve.
Slow talkers and slow walkers. I'm very impatient. I'm sorry, I'm very impatient.
Mine has to do with sounds. So smacking your food, snoring. Even though I snore a little bit, like I don't snore loudly.
Okay.
But I mean, I can't hear myself. I can't help without it getting that. But also, if you're like, do I want to say this? If you're 30 years old and you're smacking your food, learn some human decency. Okay, sorry for that rant.
Sierra!
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
One of my biggest pet peeves is people pausing a lot in between talking and saying as like every other word.
That used to be me.
Yeah. But it was, I am so impatient and I have no idea why.
And people who don't flush the toilet.
I'm sorry, what?
People don't flush the toilet, and it's really annoying. Like when I walk in there, I don't want to see your poo in the toilet.
Oh my god. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. I have a lot more, but we're just gonna stick with the few that I said. I don't know.
Oh, I could go on for days.
Me too. Okay. Who's your favorite? Jeez.
Wow.
If you could see our FaceTime calls, you would know.
Oh,
but
we're very stupid.
My words never come out right.
No. Well, we always FaceTime at like night.
Yeah.
We used to FaceTime at like 2, 3 a.m. Now we don't, but
yeah. Now it's like 8 or 9 p.m.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyways.
I don't know why we went on that spiel, but okay.
Anywho.
Who's your favorite music artist and why?
You want to go first?
Okay. I have a few, and all my music tastes are like different.
You just straightened up, put your hands together, like I have a few.
They can't see that though.
Yeah.
I have a few, but like they're all like completely different. So I like Ariana Grande.
Okay.
And two completely different things.
Yeah. Oh my god. Could not pick two more completely different people.
And then another one is kind of like a genre, I guess.
Yeah.
Broadway music.
Broadway music. I love music that
honestly,
tells stories, honestly.
I don't know a lot of like, to be honest, with the theater nerd that I am, you would think I would know a lot more songs. But like, I haven't gotten into musical theater until like recently,
then
like
there's
listening to
who,
it.
in quarantine, I literally memorized
all of like Hamilton.
8.5 different musicals.
One of them being Hamilton.
Yeah, that's only 46 songs. That's not bad. The thing about Hamilton is because there's so many songs, it's not bad, but some of them are repetitive, which just makes it easier to memorize, and I love it. Okay, and then mine, probably NF. I listen to a lot of NF music, which I don't even like rap music, so that's why.
Me either. Wait, that's weird.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Funny, we didn't know we liked each other, like NF, until you played one song, and I'm like, is that NF?
I played one NF song, and then we were both like, you don't seem like the type of person that'd be into NF. And then we're just, oh wow. But I really enjoy actual deep music that's not just, oh, you love me, and I love you, let's get poppin'. Daryl from The Office. But,
Don't like The Office. Okay, continue.
Anyway, but, you know, I guess I really like music with a strong beat, because I also like rock music. And then I like Broadway musicals. So,
yeah.
Two completely different ends of the spectrum.
Like me. Okay. Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. Our main topic today, which is, honestly, we've been having a lot of, like, laughing moments. And honestly, our main topic is kind of like, it's life in the pandemic in the perspective of a teenager. And I totally, like, messed up that wording. Yeah. But it's fine.
Life and pandemic. Anyways. Well, okay, for me it wasn't that bad. 1, I'm homeschooled. 2, I'm antisocial. 3, I'd simply, it's not like I had to go to school, because I do all my schooling online anyway. Mm-hmm. So my life didn't change that much. The only thing that changed was at the time I was doing 2 different plays, and both of them had to pause because pandemic.
Yeah.
So really that was, I guess nothing really changed, except for now I'm on my phone more, I guess, because I'm actually trying to talk to people that I don't see on the regular. Mm-hmm. But now, I guess technically, like, the world is kind of opening back up, but, you know, there's still obviously precautions.
Yeah.
As there
They say there's
obviously
more
will be.
cases than ever now, but the world's like more open than it was before, which is
Yeah.
weird to me.
Strange.
It actually had a huge negative effect on me in like March and April and May.
Well,
Okay.
you go to a public school and you had a lot of things.
And
that
I
you
was
missed out
a
on.
senior in high school.
Yeah.
So and honestly, people like totally did not weren't supportive. Like there was this teacher on social media who was not supportive. He said he was tired of the seniors complaining and felt more bad for the kindergartners.
Oh yeah, because they missed their Christmas party.
I was in the middle of 2 shows. I was doing The Sound of Music, and that was the first time I ever got a lead role.
Yeah, you got a really good role in that.
And the other one was Little Woman.
Yeah, we were doing that together.
Yeah, we were doing that together, and it's honestly opened back up a couple times, but it got shut down.
Due to how often things are just changing,
Uh-huh.
there's no definite answer of when we can do stuff and if we can do it.
And seniors, most of the fun stuff that happens junior senior year happens at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So
you had a play, you had prom. There were the games, so a lot of
there was the senior picnic.
Yeah.
And I went to a career center, and there was a
graduation
lot of field trips. Oh, graduation was so different. The career center, did not give me they did not do our senior recognition, but the actual high school that I was enrolled in, they did. But there was one family at a time, and they made a video at the end to
Well, one thing that I'm also concerned about is that last 2020's juniors, they as seniors, because now I don't think they can have homecoming, can they?
I don't know.
So for seniors, it was really bad because it was just all of a sudden no.
It was not expected until the Friday.
But
before.
Also, this year's seniors is they can't even look forward to anything.
Yeah, they can't. But it's honestly I feel like they kind of saw it coming, but they didn't, because all the I'm not even kidding. This freshman, sophomore, and juniors last year would kind of make fun of they felt bad for the seniors, but they would kind of make fun of them and be ha ha, all the juniors and sophomores and seniors get to chill and they don't even care, and it's not affecting them. And then the incoming juniors probably didn't expect it to be this long.
Remember when we were oh nice, a 2-week vacation? That's actually gonna be kind of fun,
Yeah, actually, I was tearing up on the last day.
We're approaching the 1-year anniversary of a 2-week lockdown. I just find that crazy.
The only people who haven't had quarantine birthdays are the people in February.
Yeah, and they're probably gonna.
Yeah, and then in March is gonna start back up again, and people are gonna have quarantine birthdays again. Yeah. That's sad to think about.
Yeah.
But
as long as we're just trying to do our best and open up the world, I think that's all we can do right now.
Yeah, honestly, Australia is doing pretty good. They're going.
Didn't Florida a few months ago just completely open everything up? No masks, no social distancing.
I have no idea, but that had nothing to do with Australia.
Yeah.
Australia, apparently has no. Well, I think they have a couple cases, but they don't have a lot. And I've heard kids are going to school with no mask and just regular, and they can go and do anything. And if you travel over to Australia, I think you have to be put in a 2-week quarantine before you can go out and do things.
Yeah.
But then again, I thought their borders were closed, so I'm really not sure.
There's this one little place, I can't remember the name of it, but all the borders are completely closed, and there's no COVID cases there. But it's a pretty small island, I believe. So everybody's just living life normally. I heard from one of my friends that went back to school this year, is that it's become harder because they're all wearing masks, so nobody can really hear each other as well. And then there's the kids with glasses. Oh
gosh,
those poor kids. And then for all the desks, they have to have dividers up. So there's the masks you can't really hear. There's the dividers that make it harder to hear. And then one thing that I've noticed with the mask is that I'm losing half of my vision going down. Which, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but when you're trying to take a test or something and you can't see all of it, that must just feel weird.
Yeah, honestly, and I think it depends on the district and the school.
Yeah.
some schools are half online, half in person. Some are completely in person. Some are completely virtual. And I think it's hard for the elementary school kids, like the young elementary school kids, because
they're the kids that don't understand what's going on or what the importance of staying away from your best friend is, or why you can't
eat lunch with.
Yeah, you can't interact with your friends, and it's probably more the adults can't even explain it to them, so it just seems more like an I said so rule.
Yeah, I think they kind of understand it. Like, they know, like, if you ask a kid, like, why we're doing this, they'll tell you why, but deep down I don't think they actually, like, fully understand. But then again, kids are smarter than, like, we think.
I think the thing about children is that the younger you teach a child something very deep and important, the more they will hang on to that and grasp it. Because that's just something that they don't usually hear if you're telling them something truly deep and meaningful. And if you give the kids the opportunity, they can be very, very smart.
Yeah.
But also they're children.
I think it's hard for, like, kids to grasp what they're learning on, like, online. Like, if you're on a Zoom call, like, I know someone who, their little brother, like, wasn't listening, and, like, they had to get off the call until their brother listened.
I saw one thing, like, one of my mom's friends, Facebook friends, so whatever that means, like, the preschooler was doing online class, and he wasn't sitting still because he's a preschooler. So the mom sat there and basically did the class for him and wrote everything down and tried to teach him later. And then the school got ticked at her and said, what are you supposed to do with this 3-year-old that's not grasping the concept of school? Because to them, this is my house. This isn't school. This is my house, right? That teacher is just on the screen.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I was supervising my niece one time where I was babysitting her, and, like, she had a Zoom call. And, like, she's in 1st grade, and she had a class of, like, I don't know how many people, but, like, the class was very trained on, like, technology, where the mute button is. When you unmute, you have to raise your hand. It's, like, just so weird, like, they know that.
Yeah.
Like, I was supervising her doing her class, and they were doing, like, a show and tell, and she, like, raised her hand, and they're like, yes, name. And, then she unmuted herself, started talking, and then they're like, very good. And then she muted herself again, and then they're like, who wants to go next? And another child raised her hand. And I was like, wow. Like, that's very, like,
sophisticated.
Yeah. Like, how do these 1st graders know? You know? But yeah, that's just so weird. So another thing about that, there's only a few podcasts I listen to, but I listened to Colleen and Eric's podcast. It came out yesterday morning at 5 a.m. With my messed up sleep schedule, I was able to stay up and listen to it. And Eric, Colleen's husband, is a working actor, and they were talking about him going to set as an actor, and he was saying how, like, they have to have their mask and, like, shields on, and then they'll say rolling, and then they take off their mask and they say action. And he said how it's weird because that's the first time he's filming with them, and that's the first time he's seeing their face. So he, like, made up, like, the bottom half of their face. And I did that too. When I was doing my show for, I did a show during the pandemic, and we had...
What was responsibly done?
Yeah, it was socially distance blocking. They had hand sanitizers in the wings.
Yeah.
They divided us up into, like, 4 areas, so, like, not everyone was in the same dressing room. And so they had socially distance blocking. I already said that, but then they had us do, obviously when we were practicing, we had masks on. And then they got us clear masks, and then we put clear masks on to, like, rehearse. And I will.
Don't we follow that?
A little bit, but it's not terribly bad. But I'm just standing there because I'm in college now. Obviously, pandemic senior, you got the idea that, like, I would be in college now.
Yeah.
So I'm a freshman in college, and so, like, I don't know these people really well, and a lot of them are, like, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and, like, people. Even if I did know them, I didn't see them without their masks on. And so since it was my first show, and, like, it was also Shakespeare, I didn't do too hot with the audition, so I got a small part, which I wasn't mad about because it was good for my first show. But the last scene, I was in it, and it felt pointless to be there, so I was like reacting to like everything, I guess, and listening to the show, and also being in pain because I was in heels, and I've never been in heels before.
These are short.
And I'd just be standing there, and like people had these put their clear masks on, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, like these people
They actually have faces.
I made up their faces. Their faces are completely different than what I thought.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, that's so
like
weird.
a thing where the human brain can't make up a new human face.
I don't know.
Like, they have to.
I heard can't make up a new color.
Yeah. Did you know that there's like a shirt that instead of 14
No.
I don't even think that's shrimp.
Back to like the thing, I know that like I've heard in dreams, if you dream, every person you've seen in your dream is somebody you've seen before. Like, so like if I have a man in my dream and I don't recognize him, there's a good chance that like I've probably seen him on the street, because apparently like we're gonna do a game.
Okay.
I picked a really easy one because I'm bad at like okay.
We're bad at explaining, we're bad at guessing.
Okay.
I'm a visual learner, are you?
We didn't even say the game, but we just
No.
We're not Broadway nerds. We're theater nerds. We're musical theater nerds.
We're theater kids.
We're theater kids. Anything to do with theater, we love.
Yeah.
And so
Would not expect that.
the game is guessing Broadway musicals by poor description. So we're gonna try and explain a Broadway musical really poorly.
Okay.
Okay.
It's gonna be. Okay.
You have two, right? And I have one.
I have two for you to guess.
And I have one for you. So you go first, and then.
Okay, basically. Okay. It's about this dude and
Hamilton.
No, God. Shut up. There's this dude and there's a teenage girl and these other two dead people, and well, they die in the show, and
No.
and her mom is with us. It's not that morbid, I promise. But
you're making it seem like the version of Dory or like Nemo that people do.
Oh my god.
Wait, what can I wait? It has to be one of like the 8 musicals you listen to.
Yeah, it's one of the 8 that I memorized. 9 that I've listened to.
Oh dang it! I wait. Do you remember Hamilton?
No,
I'm
that involves
kidding.
one day.
I know. Wait. I'm so bad at this. I really do not know. Because I know a lot
There's
of
a bunch of stuff about this one biome that's in like Minecraft.
I know a lot about the music. I don't know a lot about like the actual plots of the stories. It is really bad.
Yeah, it's this whole being dead thing. It's weird.
Yeah.
That was it! That's the title of the song, Sierra!
I'm not throwing away my shot. I will get it.
We're gonna get a copyright strike and then everybody's gonna be taken out.
Wait, what is it? 'Cause I really don't know.
No, okay, the bug fluid. Bug fluid.
Bug fluid. Bug fluid.
I mean, they played a game of charades. I'm trying.
I don't know. Think. Think I am thinking. You can't see me. She was moved backwards out of her chair.
No, I just took my chair back.
Your face was scared. Don't even try to deny that you wasn't
No, I've been
there.
professionally trained to fall. It's fine. Okay. Okay, he's like really creepy in his voice.
Beetlejuice!
Yes! Bug fluid. Bug. Ow!
Fluid! I'm so stupid, okay?
Yeah, but anyway.
We were literally just talking about Beetlejuice the other day.
Yeah, we were. You made me.
I'm the one who played the song for
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. We were listening to Waitress and I just said Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Anyways.
Mine's really easy. And it's not one we've talked about, but it's super easy.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
It's about this girl with curly hair.
I need more hairspray.
No. And the person she lives with is like really mean. And she has this dog.
What's her voice?
That's not Broadway.
It could
maybe in the near future somebody could write the Wizard of Oz for Broadway.
If I say one word, it'll give it away. She wears a red dress. Goes down the streets. There's like a lot of other kids that live with her.
Annie?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's like not one we've talked about, but it was
Wait, was that on Broadway?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now the other one for me, this is gonna be bad.
I don't know. I'm making these up on the fly because I'm bad at planning. Okay. So basically, it's this girl
Okay.
and this guy.
Mhm.
And like when they were together before school started, he was like really, really nice.
Mean Girl?
No.
Okay.
And then it's not one that we've talked about before.
Oh dang it.
It's I memorized it.
Did I ask you which ones you liked?
Then she goes to
Seymour Chill.
No, that's about a dude with a.
I don't know. I've never listened to that soundtrack, but you literally said you've seen it.
I've memorized the soundtrack. Yes. Anyways, so then she goes and there's like this really mean girl, and she like introduces them again because they don't know that they're going to the same school. Because she's like, oh, I'm going back to Australia, and then she finds out that he's actually a total sexist jerk, and he was like not pretending to love her, but he's pretending that he doesn't love her in front of his friends. And then they go to this school dance that's like on air.
Mhm.
And there's this race thing with this dude.
Mhm.
And the main protagonist's love interest wins. Nice.
I'm so clueless right now.
Okay. Anyways,
I don't know.
I don't. What's it? Cars.
Grease?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's not Broadway, is it? It was never on Broadway. It's a musical, but it's never been on Broadway. Has it?
Oh wait, has it not?
Wait, hold on. We're going to Google right now.
I was thinking that it was, right?
I was thinking Grease like the whole time. Has Grease ever?
I should have said something about the 50s. Yeah, the one thing that bugged me in that movie was every single card that they showed was from.
Wait. Though Grease opened geographically off Broadway, it did so under first-class Broadway contract. So
Moved to the Broadhurst Theater on Broadway.
oh, on November 21st. What year? Oh, and ran until 19. Oh, so a really long time ago.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the movie. They made the
It
movie
makes me
in
mad that they
1979.
can't. They won't let you do Grease in high school because of it.
You're using air quotes right now.
I know, air quotes so they can't see.
It speaks like Captain Holt quote and
Because it influenced his teen pregnancy.
because Rizzo thought that she was pregnant when she wasn't. Have you ever seen?
Because my high school asked, yeah, well, kinda. When my parents watched it and I never paid attention to it, but like I like the music and like I. Okay, but like my high school would ask to do it, like the students wanted to do it, but the theater director and like fire teacher was like, we can't do it, they won't let us. We did Annie Get Your Gun, and like
Wait, so you wouldn't allow something that quotes influence teen pregnancy, end quote, or like whatever. But something with gun in the name, which is what public schools are known to be very against, that made what the
correct. And well, it was about like shooting, like what the heck? Why am I blinking on like what it was about? It was like a shooting contest, but like they shot. I don't know.
Was that the one with anything
Buffalo
you can do?
Anything you can do. I can
Anyway.
do it better. I can do it better than you. Okay.
Moving on.
Well, okay. But like I remember they were like the theater person who was directing was like, you have to take out all the bad words and replace them. And one of the lead guy was like, no, I'm not. And so he didn't like make him take out the bad words. And on opening night, he was cussing in the show because there was a few bad words in there. And like people who were watching, the main people or whatever, was like, you gotta cut that out. And so everyone else who had cuss lines or cuss words in their lines, replace them. He didn't even try to replace them.
Well, I mean, it just takes away from the experience sometimes. When something is supposed to sound vulgar and you say heck instead of the actual word, it doesn't sound vulgar. It doesn't sound
We were talking about I brought up Mean Girls. Did you hear that it got taken off Broadway the other day?
For why?
I don't know. Like, they posted a thing saying that, like, you're so sad now. They posted a thing saying, like, when Broadway opens back up, that it's not returning. No. And January 5th was the year Marks and Waitress closed. And you just got into Waitress because of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of me, because I begged you to listen to it for months.
Anyways.
That was not even...
No, that's a Kelly Clarkson song.
No. We were singing Waitress today, and you said you were singing Opening Up, and I, out of nowhere, just started going into The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, that was amazing.
So you said
Opening Up, but it's like, it's a
and I said,
opening
what
up.
did I? Opening Up.
Never enough.
Never enough.
No.
And I'm just sitting there.
If somebody would like to make a SoundCloud, or is that what's called
It's like a
SoundCloud,
mashup.
and like merge the songs and send it to us, we would be ever so grateful if anybody knows how to use technology.
Yeah. Well, okay, I was sitting there, we were like planning out like the schedule for like, the podcast, and then you're like thinking about it, you're like saying it, and you were singing Opening Up, and all of a sudden I just go into The Greatest Showman, and I'm like,
Luckily for you, I memorized that entire soundtrack as well.
and I looked at you and I said, wait, that was not Waitress. And okay, so yeah, we done with that. So that is all we have for you today.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. This was literally a hot mess. But honestly,
This was a hot mess and a dumpster fire and a train wreck.
we tried.
We tried.
We started off laughing a lot, and then we got under control. So sorry, like the first half of this is like really freaking like.
You know what? I think we both enjoyed making this episode more than when we were actually serious about it.
Mm-hmm. When the first episode we filmed was like on different ends.
Yeah.
And I think we were just worried about getting it done because it was an impulse decision. And so like when we actually took time to like get together and like we knew what we messed up on, we knew that it was too long. Like we laughed a lot, and we had fun filming this more than the last one, I think.
Yeah, and I think last time we definitely tried to have more structure, and this time it was more loose.
Yeah. Also, like, this is kind of, I guess you could say, like a test run. It's our first episode. Yeah. So when we listen to it back and we see where it's terrible, like, we know.
Yeah.
But okay.
It's a learning experience. We hope that you guys just follow along long enough that we can improve.
Yeah. So thank you so much for listening. Once again, our socials will be down in the description. We hope you tune in with us next time. We're not sure like when our schedule is going to be because we're still testing everything out. But once we get a consistent schedule, we will let you guys know what our consistent upload schedule is.
Definitely.
So thank you and have a great day. Bye.